Children's TV, it used to be sort of an innocent place. You could put your kids in front of the TV, not have to worry that they were going to imbibe trans ideology or vax for children propaganda. Well, no longer, because the left has discovered that it really, really likes indoctrinating kids in whatever their preferred policies of the day are. We have two excellent examples for you today. So example number one, apparently Sesame Street is now pushing kids to vax. They're doing this by having Elmo's dad explain to Elmo that a vaccine for COVID is a great idea. Now, listen, I vaxxed my kids for MMR. I'm a big advocate of that because these are childhood diseases that can be eradicated nationwide only by giving kids the vaccines. COVID is a very different story. It is a disease that proportionately basically does not affect kids. It is a disease where kids get it, but they don't die from it. Just as a general number, the number of kids who have died from this is way lower than the number of kids who die every year from pneumonia in the same period. If you're talking about who the disease affects, the answer is people who are really old. Plus, the vaccines do not prevent transmission. So there's that. So why would it be necessary for children to get the vaccine? But the left has decided that everyone must have the vaccine as a sign of faith, in science. You must take your 2-year-old and jack them full of a vax that has not had any longitudinal testing. And you must do this to prevent a risk that does not really exist for your 2-year-old. You must do it. And now Sesame Street is going to preach to you by having Elmo get the shot. So here's Elmo talking to his dad. By the way, I did not know that Elmo's dad apparently has a soul patch and really likes listening to Green Day or something. I don't know what Elmo's dad's story is, but he really needs to clean up if he wishes to ever become a bank executive. Here we go.
Now Daddy has super duper bandages just like Elmo.
You were super duper today, getting your COVID vaccine, Elmo.
Yeah, there was a little pinch, but it was okay. Elmo was really glad to have Daddy and baby David there with him. Baby David, where are you?
I had a lot of questions about Elmo getting the COVID vaccine. Was it safe? Was it the right decision? I talked to our pediatrician so I could make the right choice. I learned that Elmo getting vaccinated is the best way to keep himself, our friends, neighbors, and everyone else healthy and enjoying the things they love.
Oh, Daddy, Elmo and baby David have a question. Can we have a hug?
Oh, come here, son.
Elmo loves you, Daddy.
I love you too.
It's okay to have questions about COVID vaccines for your kids. Get the latest facts by speaking to your pediatrician or healthcare provider.
I mean, no, it isn't. You literally just said that you should just go get your kids vaxxed. Elmo's like, hey, Daddy, look, I have a Band-Aid, and just like you. But am I hurt? Oh, America! Oh, no. See, the good news for Elmo is that Elmo is a stuffed animal. So he actually is not vulnerable to side effects from the vaccine at all. So really, Elmo shouldn't have been worried about this at all. But it's always fun when you see your public dollars spent on behalf of a profitable corporation like Sesame Street in order to push forward propaganda about how small children need vaccines. In order to prevent, it's a way to keep the neighborhood safe. How? It doesn't prevent transmission of Omicron. What are you talking about? This is bad. Okay. So that is actually the less offensive piece of children's propaganda put out by the left in the last 48 hours. Meanwhile, so long as we are having children's programming that does healthcare, we also have Disney now pushing how you ought to buy tampons on a children's show called Baymax. It stars the robot from Big Hero 6. In this clip, you'll hear the robot getting tampon and feminine hygiene product recommendations from women in the store, except for a trans man who is wearing a trans flag on her shirt. So that's exciting stuff. The kind of stuff your kids need to know, Good stuff.
Excuse me, which of these products would you recommend?
Well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
These might be easier if it's her first period.
These are really environmentally friendly.
Well, the simple fact of the matter is that our betters in children's media have decided that they wish their values to be placed before the eyes of your children. And it starts off subtle. Like if you look at that Big Hero 6 clip, I mean, aside from the fact that you now have a robot talking about tampons, you have just that trans man in a transgender flag. And so if you're not watching for it, maybe you miss it. But then over time, it gets less and less subtle. And this is exactly what Disney has said. They said that they have started to insert their not at all secret gay agenda into all of their programming. And you have Sesame Street teaching your 5-year-old that it's really, really important to get vaxxed. Yeah, the simple fact is that if you don't trust people with your kids, and you wouldn't trust them, you wouldn't like leave them at their house because you don't trust their values, then why exactly would you leave them in front of a TV for hours at a time with content that you don't trust? This is one of the reasons we at Daily Wire have dedicated ourselves to spending $100 million over the next 3 years on children's programming, because we actually believe that you should be able to trust the people that are making the shows in front of which you plop your kids. I mean, I get it. I have 3 kids. Sometimes I need 15 minutes. I need to just plop my kids in front of the TV, and I have to pre-screen all the shows that they watch now. And it's incredibly time-consuming, which is why they tend to watch old episodes of Magic School Bus, for example. But we want to produce new stuff over here at Daily Wire. It's one of the reasons why you should watch our Backstage Live show tonight at the Ryman. We have a lot of announcements about what we are going to be doing this upcoming year. It's going to be really, really awesome and exciting. You're going to want to check that out over at dailywire.com/Ryman to watch that tonight. A lot of big announcements coming.